Well, hello everyone once again. Welcome to the vidIQ Tuesday Channel Audit livestream with your host Rob here, taking you through the next couple of hours as you, bold, brave, noble creators, share your channels with us, the YouTube educators extraordinaires, as we share our knowledge, wisdom, encouragement, and a little bit of constructive criticism and maybe a bit of entertainment along the way to take your YouTube channels to the next level. We are creator obsessed here, and our mission is to transform your passion into presence on YouTube. And the only way we can do that today is through our live stream, which means one thing. That is right. The live stream can now begin. Say hello in the chats as we welcome you all in. Hundreds of people coming into the room, settle down, find the seats that is appropriate for you. Get the sweets, candy, refreshments, and don't forget to always hydrate, because this will be an intense couple of hours, and I could not do this without my esteemed co-host today. I am in the hosting seat, and this man who did an awesome job hosting last week is in the coasting seat, and it goes by the name of Dan. Welcome back, Dan, once again. You are the gaming expert. You are also a channel auditing wizard. How's it going? What's going on? Tell me about your life.
Big. Well, good. Yeah. Life's big, good question.
You always come in with a lot to share each week, Dan. And it's fantastic to hear. You are doing fantastic in this real world. We are in the YouTube world for these next couple of hours. What do you think's coming down the pipeline audit-wise today?
Oh, big channels, thumbnails.
Have you woken up yet, Dan? Hello? Is this thing on?
And views and
right. Okay, I may be really hosting and co-hosting this week. I don't know how much we're going to get from Dan. Maybe he's stuck in Minecraft world. I don't know. But while I try and reboot Dan, this is how the live stream works every single week. Welcome to the vidIQ Channel Reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started. All right, I think Dan 2.0 has been rebooted. We are ready to rock and roll. Housekeeping as always. Super chats. We encourage them, but not for channel audits. What we do is we take time out from the channel audits for a period of 5 to 10 minutes throughout the live stream to answer those burning YouTube questions that you may have. But as I say, super chats will not influence whether or not we audit channels. That part of the live stream is always free. And we do have to just include that while YouTube welcomes all audiences, many niches, topics, and so on, if we feel that a channel isn't appropriate for a young audience, which we know we have on the channel live streams each week, then we may just have to apologize and move on to the next channel. For example, if it includes maybe some illicit images or some swear words in the titles, thumbnails, we'll just say, sorry, we can't cover this today. We'll have to move on. With all that being said, Dan, the man with a plan, are you ready to audit some channels?
Yes.
All right, then. That's what I like to hear, some enthusiasm from Dan. So let's just jump in to the first channel that's submitted in the forms that are in the description when the live stream went public earlier on today. This was the first one who got in on the non-gaming form, and I reveal to you Aerial Stories. They have 41 subscribers. They've just broken 50 videos on their channel. Dan, I'll just investigate when they started their channel. just over 2 years ago. They're approaching 10,000 views. So first impressions, I think we kind of have an idea about what we think the channel is about, but maybe that will get a little clouded as we go through the thumbnails and titles. But what's your first impressions here of Aerial Stories?
I like the latest video. I really think that the thumbnail looks cool, and you can, you get a sense of like a zoomed out kind of like this could have been taken with a drone kind of thing. So it kind of fits the theme of that channel, right? Aerial Stories. But that's my favorite thumbnail just because it matches the title. Every video I'm seeing though is like a little bit, there's something about it that I could kind of nitpick on. I'll get to the DaVinci Resolve ones in a minute, but like
sure.
When I think about like nature channels and drone footage and all that stuff, I think about like even more zoomed out big images, and some of these are really close up. Like this waterfall, I think, or something. Then there's like the forest sunset one. There's no sunset, but like there's like a fern, and like Crazy Forest is a good example of what I'm talking about. But I think the lighting, something went on with that one. It just kind of looks a bit off. So when you are like an aerial photography channel, I think your thumbnails kind of need to meet a certain level. And some of them I feel like do, and some of them don't. And so it's something the creator should really work on.
They lack a kind of epic landscape appeal, maybe. Especially, I mean, you say the Lonely Bridge one, that kind of has an interesting story behind it. But that could have just been taken from a GoPro, as far as we know.
Yeah.
I'll just click on it and I'll let it run in the background. Maybe you can hear the music. I don't know. I'm going to talk just in case it is copyright music. Now we can see this is halfway through the video. So we are definitely using a drone here. I'm not seeing any narration, though. I'm not hearing any voiceover. Maybe as we're watching this clip, it feels a bit long as well. So, in terms of like video production quality as well, not quality, it's certainly a nice shot.
The bridge didn't get too much of a...
Yeah, the Lonely Bridge was almost lonely within the video as well. I mean, this is kind of a nice sweeping vista shot.
Yeah.
But it's not new. I feel as if drones have been around now for at least half a decade. How is this different to another channel other than the pitch of the content?
Right. I think the first people who got drones and kind of did videos like this probably saw a lot of success early on because this was such an unapproachable like kind of topic. But now like there are more affordable drones. They've been around a while. I think for stuff like this, like the drone footage is fantastic for like B-roll, for telling a story about something. So if you go to a place, like let's fictionalize this bridge for a second and say that this bridge was built for some specific purpose, maybe a long time ago, blah, 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 blah. Like you can use a drone for part of that and take some really cool aerial shots of the area around it and the bridge itself and whatever. But it feels like these days, if you're going to do a channel like this, there should really be more of a story behind it to help supplement your really incredible like aerial photography. And I know that's not exactly like what an aerial photography channel wants to hear. So that's where you probably get into the DaVinci Resolve videos, right? It's like, well, no, I don't want to. I'm not a nature channel. I'm not covering the history of a bridge. I'm more or less trying to help people get better at what I'm doing, which is taking aerial photos. So now the conversation shifts on its head because it's like, well, they're doing DaVinci Resolve videos, presumably using aerial footage. And now we're talking almost about two different topics on the surface. I think if I were to subscribe to this channel and I watched a video with just music and drone footage and stuff, I'd be really confused when the next video came out and it was a tutorial on how to do something specific in editing software. And this is where the creator kind of needs to make a choice. Do you want to do story-driven footage that is supplemented by awesome aerial photography? Do you want to just make really good aerial photography and help other people do it? To me, those are two different channels and two different ideas. And there's probably some other ideas in there as well, but I'm just focusing on a couple things for simplicity's sake.
Yeah, so if you were going to have a direct connection between the camera device you're using, which is the drone, and then the editing software that's going to manipulate that footage, I could see where there is a connection. I have one example here, which is a tutorial on how to convert DJI D-Cine-like. So in other words, footage taken from a drone, how to use it in this software. I can see how there's a direct connection there. It got 1,000 views. That's encouraging. But then when you look at insert a transition into DaVinci Resolve, that's not really connected to the drone. How to create power bins in DaVinci Resolve 18, that doesn't feel very droney. How to remove noise in a free version of DaVinci Resolve. Again, this is now very hardcore DaVinci Resolve, because so there's essentially two different channels at war with each other on this channel at the moment, Dan. So do we have to say to the creator, let's separate the two channels, or you take this channel and say which content is resonating most of the audience right now, and it appears to be on the very surface the DaVinci Resolve tutorials, although there is just one outlier, which was actually when you connected droning and editing software together.
Yeah. I would encourage the creator to stick to one channel and pick one route, pick one audience, because, I mean, I've tried running multiple channels. It's a lot of work.
It is. It definitely is.
It's a lot. I would try to take your love of something and expand on it in a way that brings value to people. And there's going to be parts of it that you enjoy and parts of it that you don't enjoy, because that's just how, working on YouTube or working anywhere is. But yeah, I think you're going to keep releasing these really pretty looking drone videos and kind of seeing the same results if something doesn't kind of change. So you really got to think about the value you want to bring to an audience and kind of pick that lane and stick to it.
That is Aerial Stories for You as the first channel that is audited this week. And now we audit the first gaming channel that's submitted in the forms in the description. And they go by the name of herruvl22. That's the closest pronunciation I can come up with. And they are an F1 content, simple as you like. And they did advertise themselves as a shorts channel, but they are posting longs frequently. But we won't look at them, Dan. I don't want to maybe criticize the thumbnails or anything on them, because they did say shorts. So let's jump straight to shorts. And what I will say is that this channel is definitely focused on F1 gaming, and we can't argue that point. And it looks as if most of their shorts are of a POV in the cockpit driving, and maybe different scenarios in the game, or at least you would think so, because when you look at some of the titles, I get a bit confused, because they seem to be just quiz questions, like which country is Liam Lawson from? And if I click on this, I think that literally is a short. And the answer isn't revealed either. It just asks the question, and then after a period of time, it asks you to subscribe, as far as I'm aware. So there is no essential story being told in the F1 game here. That's a lot of the shorts. So discuss.
I'm encouraged by the consistency. They're putting out like the same kind of content. So we just talked about a channel that maybe wasn't being super consistent with their audience. This channel, at least when we're looking at their shorts, and it looks like their longs too, they're consistently trying to target the same audience. Can we click popular real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
If anything's popped off. Okay.
So
who said this on the radio? Now, that is interesting. So a lot of these in real life, like the racing community, there's radios, and they talk to each other, and a lot of times I think people can even listen to that. So I imagine there's some intrigue there when it comes to thinking about the sport in general, not necessarily the video game, but like you're trying to do these quiz shorts, and suddenly you hear something on the radio and you're like, oh wow, I'm hearing like from a real event someone say something. So that might get you to stop scrolling. That has like more intrigue. When I look at some of the other shorts we were looking at, I wasn't really thrilled by what I was watching. It was the car and the cockpit. It was like not a lot happening on the screen. And then the question was one that, I didn't know the answer to. And then I imagine a lot of people scrolling through shorts who find this, who aren't fans of F1, would probably keep scrolling because they're like, I don't know even who that is. So I can't play along. It makes the content feel really niche. And when it comes to shorts, I would say that your best approach is going to be to do what you enjoy and like cater to one audience, but try to cater to an audience that can understand what's going on, right? Like if you're not an F1 fan, whether it's the game or the actual sport, you're probably feeling really left out. And that's not great for YouTube Shorts that get shown to so many people, such a variety of people. So if something was happening where the car was spinning out, or, you know, something happened on the track that you caught on camera, like that is a more intriguing short in this context than quizzes that are going to cater to such a small demographic. And I think that's where the creator is going to need to like kind of figure out like, okay, I like this F1 game a lot, but how do I get my content when I'm making shorts to appeal to a lot of people?
I was playing a short just in case they had the actual audio radio sound on, but it doesn't appear to be. It is, again, just footage from the game. This channel has made a lot of videos, Dan. 1,100 videos at this point. And I would guess a lot of these are shorts, given I kind of sense from the hashtags they're using that these are like part numbers. Like F1 quiz 387. As a lot of quiz shorts.
Yeah.
And they really haven't picked up an amazing amount of traction as of yet. So almost like a, forgive the pun, but maybe go into the pit stop and like re-engineer. Thanks, Dan. Yours as well. Re-equip the channel a little bit with we think you're fine with F1. F1 is very popular and the season is on right now. But certainly the visual engagement of these videos isn't really getting it for us, at least as non-F1 gaming fans.
Yeah, I think you could get a non-F1 gaming fan to watch these. It just needs to be something happening that might appeal to just anyone who never played the game before. They don't get what they're looking at. You're explaining it. You're like, do you see this meter on my steering wheel? Well, this means blah 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 blah. And right now, if you watch, this is going to happen. Like, tell us a little story. Kind of take us on a little journey. Don't be afraid to kind of cater to some new people if you're doing shorts, because your shorts will reach a lot of new people.
All right, then. That is the first gaming channel that we've audited this week, which can only mean one thing, and that is for Rob Wilson to go self-indulgent, as he often does, with Gaming Corner. What have you been playing this week in video gaming world? And can you guess this sound effect from my gaming past? Now, I thought the Game Boy noise was very difficult last week, but apparently tons of people got it. So this one, I assure you, is going to be very difficult. But here's a bit of a clue. We have had a sound effect from this game before in the past, but it's a lot harder this time. Are you ready? Because that was it. I'm going to keep pressing it. Give you an opportunity to try and guess. Dan, what have you been playing if it hasn't been Diablo 4?
Oh, not much.
All right, just Diablo 4 again, eh? Where are you in the game? Like, tell me more about like the adventure and like, is it difficult? Like, you do side quests, etc.
There's like a season that's like halfway through now or something like that, and I played it for a bit, and I've kind of taken a break and just been playing little things here and there, and I'm nothing of note. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not as like hot on it as I was, I guess. But it was fun. It, you know, just too many things happening. Too many things out.
All right, we're getting some answers in. I don't know if these are answers for the games that they're playing or the sound effects.
This is always hard for that reason. Like
that you're trying to guess.
I don't know if people are playing Pong or they're guessing Pong.
Yeah. So there have been a couple of correct answers, though. I'm just trying to find one of these. Where did it go? Right. Come on, somebody said it.
Menu to me, like
at least one person said it. Here we go. So mythology and gaming. You are correct. This is a noise when your battle meter or your weight meter reaches the point where you can select an action. So, you know, like attack, cast magic, etc. Now, it may come from other Final Fantasy games as well, but that's where the sound effect comes from. And the reason I've chosen this is because I have now started my new game, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation Network. And so this is where you don't have turn-based RPGs anymore, like they've brought it into the 2000s, 2020s, and you actually do have actions. You can attack all of the time, but then that fills up an action meter, and then you can take action. I'm really enjoying it. The story's really good. I think I may be playing this down for a few weeks. So Final Fantasy VII Remake is what I'm playing right now, and that is a sound effect. If you got it right, you get a little tick.
Oh.
But I think we should audit another channel now, Dan. And that channel is going to be, let's take a look. It is Rich Stubbs Animation. And we've audited a lot of animation channels in the past that have struggled with making content on a regular basis. But what I see, which is pretty encouraging from this channel, is that they don't have months between content. They have weeks.
Wow. So
all of this stuff has been done in the last 6 months, which is a phenomenal output for a animation channel. And what I find really cool about this creator is that they're taking trending and cultural events that are going on right now and adding their own spin. So, for example, I animated this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mayhem in 24 hours. And I just want to play this, Dan, as the first 10 seconds of like the perfect hook. So let me just start it up.
Mayhem has an iconic hand-drawn style inspired by messy sketchbooks and created by hundreds of talented artists. No matter what your artistic ability is, I'm going to show you how I went from this to this without spending hours.
What I love about that is it's shown you the payoff, but like teased it. Like there's a lot to get there, but you've seen what you're going to get out of this video. I apologize if the audio was a little too low, but 1,400 views in 3 weeks. I think that was probably released when the film was released, so the timing there was impeccable. So they aren't necessarily trying to do animation stories. They're doing stories about their own animations and the challenge they put in front of themselves and how they got from nothing to a little animated segment. And I think that's a really good idea for a creator to create content on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts as we move into this channel?
The video I can't get my eyes off of, if you scroll down just a tiny bit, is the Spider-Man one. Make your own Spider-Verse in under 5 minutes. And the thumbnail is just so brilliant. Just that versus style thumbnail of like a really popular movie and then your version of it for $0. I think that's genius. And I'm not surprised at all about the views on that. And then the timing couldn't have been better either, because about a couple months ago, everyone was talking about that movie. So this is someone who's taking their skill set, jumping on a trend. And, I think a lot of animation channels probably think, well, the whole video is going to be animated. I'm an animation channel. But this channel is saying, well, I have a skill set and I'm just going to show you a little bit of what to do. Like we saw the sword slice the melon. And that wasn't a very long animation. So they can take their time making that little animation and then building a story around it. And that is just such a genius hack to like this space. If you're willing to put your voice and your face on your channel, like I would consider this as like a route for you as an animation channel.
Yeah, I was just letting the video run in the background. The editing seems fairly sharp. There's like a new clip every few seconds. And I'm sure they're trying to dumb this down a little bit so it is accessible. Because I don't necessarily see this as a tutorial. Maybe there is some tutorial aspects in it for people who are interested in Blender. But I feel as if this is more welcoming and accessible to people like you and me, Dan, who are like more interested in just the challenge and the journey of trying to do something for $0, which a Hollywood studio took $100 million to make. Because we see so many Blender tutorials where it is like how to put texture on a tree, which is very useful for people who want to learn how to use the program, but not for a wider audience. So I think you are going to get these spiky view counts, 50,000 views, 600 views, 8,000 views. But given the size of the channel, I think all of these view counts are relatively strong. It's just sometimes you're going to have these viral moments, but you're sticking to your core audience every single time. So I think that's a really powerful approach as well.
Yeah, and I understand, they're doing tutorials. I think, but like any animation channel, if they weren't willing to do tutorials and just wanted to show off their skills, could produce more content if they were willing to do smaller animations and build a story around it with other elements. But I think this channel is operating on like another level when it comes to YouTube. It looks like they tried again 10 days ago with a similar thumbnail style, the versus, PS5, PS1. To me, there's a couple things about that. Like, I'm not super surprised at its performance so far. So recreating PS1 style Spider-Man in Blender, I think it's seeing the PS5 and PS1 comparison is a bit of lost context, because PS1 is not really PS1. That's your version of it. So it's kind of like it's layered a little bit in a way that makes me have to think about it. I have to read the title, I have to look at the thumbnail carefully, and then I have to. It doesn't click right away. PS1, PS5. It's like, what are we comparing here? That's weird. Oh, you're remaking the PS1 version. I would have done a comparison then of the PS1 version and your version. But better yet, the PS5 version of Spider-Man is more current and relevant. That probably would have been the real winner if you were to try and recreate the PS5 version of the character. So there's little nuances there that like it's not just the versus thumbnail that did it for this channel. It's the versus thumbnail combined with a simple to understand concept and a trending topic.
And then in this one, the editing is getting sharper. They're now including little memes and again cultural references, which is cool. But in this one, Dan, they don't have the payoff until I believe much later on. I think not until the final moments of a video do they show the actual animation in PS1. Whereas in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, they had that brief demonstration of what it was going to look like at the end. And like, again, should you be including that or some version of it towards the beginning of a video? But full credit for the creators to now get in front of camera as well, which is awesome to see. It's like the evolution of the creator and their presenting skills, which is awesome to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think as an animation channel, this is something different. They certainly have potential. I think that what they're also doing, Dan, is converting these longs into shorts, which is pretty cool as well. Like the PS1 style Spider-Man in Blender. So they've just kind of titled it a different way. And then the animation from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle have taken like a couple of clips from that, which is cool as well. So they're having a multi-content channel as well, which is superb to see. Any final thoughts for this channel? Or like, are they doing pretty much everything right? They just have to expect these spiky view counts until they have like their big viral moment, which I feel is maybe on the horizon in the next 6 to 12 months if they keep up with this idea of merging cool ideas with what's going on in movies and culture and so on.
I think it's just that. It's this channel, in terms of the video content itself, it seems very consistent. The titles and thumbnails, some of them hit, some of them don't, and it's going to be just kind of like working on your packaging for every single video, like trying to communicate a very simple message to the viewer so that they don't have to think too hard when they come across your title and your thumbnail. And that just takes practice. You know, it can be challenging, but one thing, you know, if you have other ideas for older videos you've done, you can go back and update those titles and thumbnails. So it's okay if you don't nail it on the first try. There are things you can do to try and like take an older video and get it out there more. And because you're an animation channel, it takes you a lot longer to make content that might be worth your time if you're after this looking at some of your titles and thumbnails and going, actually, I have some ideas now. So best of luck.
Thanks, Rich Stubbs Animations, for your submission. And I think what we'll do now is we'll get the cool, chilled background music playing, because we're going to tackle, Dan, some super chats. We haven't got that many just yet. Now, we're not encouraging you to start flooding with super chats, but it means we can maybe get through these fairly quickly and then get back to some channel audits. But we do want to acknowledge our super chats so far, and we have a new member to the vidIQ Nation. They'll get that sound effect today, I've decided. It is Donny's Adventures. Donny's Adventures now has access to all of the wonderful emojis that you have with vidIQ membership. So do check them out. And if you want to take advantage of those thank you. Whoever's controlling vidIQ right now just posted lots and lots and lots of emojis.
Yes. Yes.
Of me just saying that over and over again. So if you want to do that, then do make sure to become a member. And now we have our first super chat that commits a cardinal sin of asking us for a channel audit.
Oh no.
And we get one every single week. And we say at the beginning of every single live stream that super chats do not influence whether or not we audit a channel. But we will, of course, shout out the super chats because you gave us a super chat. The rules are very clear at the beginning of a live stream. Make sure to fill out the form. And there are other ways to get picked, which we're going to reveal imminently, really, just after these super chats. All right, next one comes from Legendary Lizzie. I get around 400,000 returning views in 28 days, but I'm only on 68,000 subscribers. What am I doing wrong? Why aren't they subbing if they are returning?
What? Okay, wait a minute. The word only tripped me up completely.
Yeah.
You're doing really, really good.
That is fantastic.
Those numbers look good to me. I'm not surprised by that. Subscribing, think about it this way. How many channels do you watch that you're not subscribed to? And maybe for you specifically, it's like, well, no, I subscribe to everybody. But that's not like the common habit. YouTube is so good at finding the videos you want to watch on a regular basis that you don't have to subscribe to anyone. You watch a couple of their videos and YouTube is like, you might as well have subscribed, and they just send you their stuff. So getting someone to subscribe, that is like something they do, over some time for one reason or another. Maybe you remind them enough and they're like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. But a lot of people, I would say, probably don't like it when you constantly pester them to subscribe. Just let that number build up naturally over time and understand that it is the least important number on your entire channel. It feels like the most important because of stuff like this, but it is the least important number on your channel. It is a representation of someone basically hitting a like button on your channel and potentially walking away and never coming back, and not just unliking the channel. You know what I mean? It's just there. And it's the 400,000 returning viewers in 28 days is such an astounding number. I'd be very, very proud of that, because that is like the actual status of your channel right now. That's how your channel is currently performing.
Yeah, if you're at 68,000 subscribers, what is the need for any more from a reward or channel unlock point of view? And that is, you're right, Dan. At this point, it's just for that silver play button. So if you aren't currently asking people to subscribe and they are returning viewers, then I would argue, Dan, that hopefully this channel isn't pestering their audience to subscribe. They're probably just not doing it effectively. And they can say, if you've joined me on this journey, and I know you've joined me on this journey because you keep coming back over and over again, the YouTube analytics tells me that you keep watching content, then let's, as a community, get this channel to 100,000 subscribers so we can do a big celebration. And the way you can help me is by subscribing, because I know you watch the channel and I know you love the content. So let's love the play button as well. Try and do it in a fun, entertaining way. And, don't be afraid to ask for a subscription after you've provided value in the content. So that's how my little counter suggestion to what you're saying, Dan, about pestering. I'm sure they're not. This channel, like, getting 400,000 return views, that's an incredible number. Yeah. You should get to 100,000 very, very soon. So well done, Legendary Lizzie. I think this is now 13 weeks in a row. The streak is on. The design burst. Is it ideal to put hashtags in the video titles? vidIQ Daily Ideas suggests 1 to 3 tags in the title. What are the advantages of using hashtags? We're going to have a word with our developers here and say that 1 to 3 hashtags in the title is probably not the best idea.
No.
My personal opinion is that you should probably reserve your hashtags for the description, because they will serve exactly the same purpose in the description and they won't interfere with the curiosity of the title. Any more to add there, Dan?
Yeah, they could make your title kind of cluttered, harder to read, just kind of like looking at a block of text after a while, especially on parts of the site where it's not truncated. I would avoid it. I'd put them in the description. There might be sometimes maybe just be cute, like putting one in your title, like how to get 1,000 views in hashtag shorts, or for example, or something. Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
I mean, if Daily Ideas is saying it, it might be something that the AI noticed from like some big channels doing it, but that doesn't mean it's like some kind of super hack or strategy or anything. I would use them sparingly, and even YouTube is like, they made hashtags and they're like, you use them or don't. YouTube themselves is like okay on hashtags.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's because it's got ridiculous now. If you put in hashtag shorts in the description, it tells you how many other channels are using hashtag shorts. It's up to like 67 million. So you're just getting flooded by the wave of hashtag shorts now these days. Thanks for the question, though, at Design Burst. I'm sorry, we're kind of disagreeing with our own software there, but yeah, I think we just need to make some tweaks to how Daily Ideas might be suggesting hashtags. This is a channel name that I'm going to enjoy saying. Ka-ching King.
Cha-ching King?
Cha-ching King. I like it. No question. I appreciate you guys. This is even better as well. We love a question because there isn't one. vidIQ have been tremendously helpful so far. You are more than welcome. And I said we didn't have many super chats. Now we do. Now we do. At the max, is trick shots a good niche?
Are you good at trick shots?
Yeah. It's a, yeah. Can you do better different trick shots to people like Dude Perfect and all of the other massive channels that are already very competitive in that space?
Trick shots, like, and challenge content is basically what trick shots are, and people love watching a good challenge. If you imagine telling a whole story where you're just trying to like want to get a card into a bottle or something, some kind of crazy trick shot, like you could do a whole video of you trying to get that done over the course of like 30 days or 100 days or something, and it's a 24-hour challenge. I don't know, it's just, but you show the process of you learning and whatever. I watched a video, it's not a very recent one, but it's from a commentator called Eddie Burback, and his whole video was about trying to score 2 perfect games in a row in Wii Bowling, and that's all it was. But he managed to make like a 20-minute video of him trying to do that, and it was a whole story with the whole process of like all the different things he did to try and get better at the game. So I think a trick shot channel today could work if you kind of put that fresh coat of paint on it. But just doing trick shots and not really, you know, adding that element to it, I think is going to be a bit harder to break out in. But try and tell a story. I know you're going to hear us say that a lot, but storytelling is kind of like the new narrative that's taking over our space on YouTube. Like everyone's talking about getting better at storytelling because it's true. We've all realized, we're woken up and said, wow, when people watch longer, we get more views and we grow and we get more organic traffic. Like we need to increase watch time. How do we do it? Tell stories.
New member, Treasured Lawn, here to share their emojis. Make sure you do that with reckless abandon in the chat now if you can. RedX finally built my viewer avatar. Yes. vidIQ Max rocks, we agree. Now, what is a viewer avatar? RedX, please do share that in the comments if you can. I know that's probably a bit hard to do because you've only got 200 characters and your viewer avatar is probably 1,000. But just to help explain what that is, share it in the comments. You don't have to do it as a super chat. Just let people know what a viewer avatar is. Basically, it's your ideal viewer for your channel. We have Maru Bean, who is close to 1,000. I will assume that is 1,000 subscribers. Nicely done. Nicely done. Well done to you. Now we have a question from Treasured Lawn. Retention or view minutes? Which is more important to grow? So I think it's watch time versus audience retention.
Hard to say. I mean, obviously, people watch longer, you get more watch time. I don't know if you would agree, Rob. I would say that you shouldn't focus on just one. It's they kind of go hand in hand to me. This is kind of a tough question.
Yeah.
But I would say that if one is doing well, the other can also do well. But especially, maybe in this case, as I talk myself through this, maybe it's retention because it kind of automatically leads to more watch time. But watch time also depends on the length of your video, and I mean, there's so much to like say there.
I have seen evidence and argument to say that like if you can just get 10 minutes of watch time on a video, almost doesn't matter how long it is, even if it's like a 40-minute video and you get 10 minutes watch time, that's pretty cool. And you are right. In that sense, it does seem to, when we do longer videos, it does seem to push a video out for a longer period of time. But what's really difficult to engage is if you had a shorter video with a high audience retention, did they then go on to watch something else on the YouTube platform afterwards? And that's session watch time. You never have a clear insight into that. The argument overall should be the video should be as long as it needs to be to satisfy the viewer. And so don't just make the video longer to try and get longer watch time because that'll unsatisfy the viewer. And they may come from a viewing experience having watched something for half an hour and think, oh, that was pretty rubbish, actually. I didn't enjoy that experience. And then they don't actually come onto YouTube for 2 or 3 weeks. And that could be a real problem from the algorithm's point of view. All right, I think we'll take one more super chat now, and that is Ron Stoppable. As a fitness channel, it's a rough, rugged road. Here to soak up some knowledge. I see that relying on my content alone won't take me far. Suggestions. I'm not sure what they mean by relying on their content alone.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, maybe they mean they're going to need better titles and thumbnails. Like, oh, I make really high quality videos, but people aren't watching kind of thing. Yeah, YouTube is kind of like a full... experience, right, for the creator. Like you really can't just focus on one aspect of it and expect growth. You kind of need to get good at all of it. You need to have good thumbnails, you need to have good titles, you need to tell stories, you need to like have high quality videos over time. You don't have to do that right away, but the quality going up helps quite a bit. So it's all one thing. And then like, do you want to do shorts? Like now you're talking about rounding out your channel with some different type of content. Do you want to make sure your community tab is up to date? So take it one step at a time would be my advice. If I'm on the right track here, if I'm kind of picking up what they're putting down, try to get good at one thing and then move on to the next thing. And before you know it, like 100 videos from now, your channel is going to look completely different than it does now because you've just been practicing. Like, I need to make better thumbnails. Not only do they need to look good, they need to be clear. It needs to be very easy to understand what the heck is happening in the video before the viewer clicks on it. Like, there's so many things to know, and that's why we do these live streams, because we see so many channels who do so many different things. And so one live stream contains a lot of advice for a lot of different types of channels.
My suggestion, since this is top of mind right now, as we've just had a super chat about it, is define your ideal viewer. And the reason I say that is because you're in a very mature, highly developed, and therefore very competitive niche on YouTube, which is fitness. So you need to know exactly which type of fitness viewer you are talking to, whether it's somebody who's already a fitness freak, a gym rat, and they want to get like, they want to build their muscle mass up to like a superhero status, or somebody who has never done any workout before in their life, and they're suddenly realizing that they feel like they're out of shape, fat, and they want to lose some weight, just so that they can look in the mirror and not feel like a tub of lard, or, you know, whatever ideal viewer you think you are talking to, you need to write that out. And then that's your North Star. That is the guiding principle by where your channel is governed. Because if you make fitness content for all types of people, then you satisfy none of them. And that would be my suggestion for you as a fitness channel. And thank you for the question, Ron Stoppable. And we will bring our super chats to a conclusion there for now. We already have a lot that we need to get through at some point, but we need to get back to channel audits. And we're doing something a little new here. We've said that there are now a couple of ways you can get your channel audited. And one of them is through Discord, where we invite you to become our creator of the month. And you do that by answering a couple of questions that's not only going to help you as a creator, but inspire others who are on the YouTube journey. So make sure to check out Discord in the description. And the winner of the creator of the month goes by the name of Koban, otherwise known as the RPGenie. And let's get a little insight into who this creator is before we jump into the channel itself. They've answered a couple of questions. This is why they are the creator of the month. And that first question was their biggest accomplishment of the month. And Dan, this is like a landmark moment for any creator.
Yeah.
They got their first paycheck from YouTube after getting monetized. 400 Australian dollars. So that's already a significant amount. Of 2 viral videos off their channel. So congratulations, Koban, on that achievement. The next question that we asked them was, why should they be the creator of the month? And Dan, if you want to read out the answer to this question, which is number 2.
Well, I mean, they played to the judges, right? They learn from us every day, which is the right answer. They listen to the Colin and Samir podcast on road trips. They study their niche. You know, this is exactly what you needed to do. You have to pander to the judges, and that's how you win awards.
And they're putting in the time when they're not creating. So they're learning externally from just making videos. But yeah, thanks, Dan, for that input. The final question that we asked them was to give a quick speech on the creator journey. And it goes a little bit like this. And I want you to all get inspired at this point and let us know through suitable emojis. YouTube is all about growth, not only metrics, views, audience, but personally. Every day you have to get better. Every video you have to get better, and you can get better. But YouTube is not only about getting better at the craft. It's about finding out who you are as a creator. How do you tell stories? Dan, look, stories are coming up again. What stories do you want to tell? Who do you want to tell your stories to? That's your ideal viewing audience. YouTube is a platform for you to discover yourself, and vidIQ, again, pandering to the masters, are the tour guides of that journey. Without vidIQ, I'm not sure I would have made it here. So thank you, guys. Oh, thank you, Coben, for the lovely words. And you are the creator of the month. So let's now finally take a look at your channel. And this is it. RPGenie. They have 2,222 subscribers. Let's just assume they have all of the twos right now. And they've done that incredibly off 9 videos, Dan.
Wow.
They are a gaming channel. And they're not just covering one game. I see Fable, Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Overwatch. So we go on and on and on to gaming channels that they should not jump from game to game. This person is going against our advice, even though they listen to us, but they've been successful at it.
Yep.
With some viral moments. The Tragic Tale of Overwatch, 100,000 views. I think we've got one here. Diablo 4 will be your next unhealthy addiction, 200,000 views. So let's try and figure out why this gaming channel is breaking the mold, so to speak.
In my opinion, without actually clicking on this content, to me, this is video essay content about games that are popular and interesting. And in this case, the through line is like RPGs, not just like MMOs, but like Fable is an RPG, Assassin's Creed's an RPG. So they are niche down.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're also getting to cover a lot of games. What I feel like this channel is doing very well is leaving a lot of time for themselves to work on these videos, which means they probably get a lot of time to chill and just play games. And when you're playing a game and you're not creating content, your head is in a different place. And it's a lot easier to probably put down that game and you're done. Let's say you just play Fable in preparation for making this Fable video. You then can go, okay, my experience in Fable, which is me playing and having fun, like feels a certain way, and I feel like I can speak on it now for a while. And you start writing a script based on the time you were playing Fable and not really recording it, not trying to make content out of it. It's just a different headspace, and it's so powerful to like see that they are covering gaming in this way, because there are channels that I'm starting to find that are like video essay style channels that cover this side of gaming. Like the Tragic Tale of Overwatch has 105,000 views. Like look at the size of this channel, 105,000 views. It's a 23-minute video. It probably took them a very long time to research and craft. And they're presumably telling the story of like Overwatch from start to finish, because Overwatch 2, like as some of you might know, does have kind of like a tragic tale attached to it. And look at this. They're taking us through the history, amazing edits, B-roll. I don't even know if this person is their face on the channel. It doesn't matter. There's enough going on. Like, I can kind of hear them talking. Like,
witness to the great unveiling of not just one game, but 2, Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. A day that would forever be immortalized.
I think this is excellent. I think if you're a fan of these types of games, you are hooked. You are like, you're remembering that when that stuff was announced, and you're like, oh yeah. But at this point, you've probably stopped playing Overwatch for one reason or another, whether you just fell off naturally or the game closed down or whatever. I forget exactly what happened to it, but it's not good. And you're just suffering from the aftermath of that. And this is just kind of like a good bow on that whole situation for you. Sometimes that's a great video, like just feeding into somebody's like desire to hear someone like talk about the thing they're excited about or sad about or whatever it might be. Like, anyway, my encouragement for this channel is like, keep doing what you're doing. Everyone can do a gameplay video, but this takes like research and time, and it's you can cover so many more games, which I think will help you from not getting burned out. It's just really, really, I don't know. In terms of advice, I have to reset my brain for a minute, but what are you seeing?
I'm seeing really intriguing titles on the most part, especially this one here. Obviously, it will be your next unhealthy addiction. So it's like almost like a warning, but you know, as gamers, you're going to ignore that warning. Like I want to get into this Diablo 4, and then this image of a person playing Diablo 4, and I don't like the Diablo 4 like imagery in the background, kind of almost like it's as if they're in their study, but it's a study within a Diablo 4 cave. I'm not sure, but it's intriguing. But Dan, what I want to ask is, so this video got nearly 200,000 views, and then this one, which I also think is an intriguing title, gets 100,000 views. But what we would recommend is like if you have a viral moment on your channel, double down on it. It took them another video to do that, but they did double down on Diablo 4. But in comparison, this video's only got 2,000 views. Now, 2,000 views is still very good, objectively speaking, for the size of a channel.
Yeah.
But why did this video not really garner the same traction as this one? And maybe we don't know the answer to this. I've got a theory.
I have a theory
but
too.
like, let's spitball for a moment. What do you think?
I think it's because there are a lot of people giving an honest review of Diablo. Not a lot of people are talking about what's going on in the background and like how Blizzard released this game and here's the story behind it and why, you know, like there's the stories they told in the previous 2 videos look already on the surface more in depth than just an honest review. You can get those in so many places. So that's my opinion. I feel like it wasn't as unique as what they were making before.
I think you're right there with that word, Dan. Unique. Just a review is perhaps not what the viewers get excited about from this creator. They want to see some sort of video style question being presented or theory being proposed and this creator investigating it rather than an honest view. So maybe this video could be rescued by just changing the title. I know you're probably saying, yeah, but I say it's an honest review in the first 10 seconds. Let's not worry about that now. Let's see if we can re-engineer the title. Might be too late as well because the game's 2 or 3 months old now. But is there something that's come into the conversation in the last week or so which may be able to reignite it?
There's whole channels that cover all the different updates and stuff around Diablo and give their opinions on what they like and don't like about the game itself. Like, so you are competing with people who are like really well known in the space and their opinion is held in high regard. So yeah, it would be a tough one. And then if you look at the third one or the second video just sitting on the most recent list here, Baldur's Gate 3 will set a new standard for RPGs. To me, that looks a lot like the other 2 videos. But if I were to nitpick at this one, it would be the thumbnail because you've put a character in the middle of the screen that's hard to see because of the split colors. And then I can kind of see the review thing you were going for, but that thumbnail to me is too complex.
Too clever, yeah.
Yeah. And that's like the big issue going on there for me. But I do think it's a good topic. Like Baldur's Gate 3 is very popular, and you obviously have some really like interesting opinions about it. So I think where that one, you know, didn't stick the landing was the thumbnail.
Wow. I just went to the community tab and what a curious question. What was the 2014 game of year? I can't remember what I was playing back then. Jeez.
Dark Souls 2. We can. I don't know. You want to try?
I guess they give options. For me, it was probably something like Assassin's Creed 3. You know, because I'm always about 4 or 5 years behind in terms of the games I was playing.
Yeah, something in my pile of shame.
Yeah. Anyway, RPGenie. How the bloody hell are you? We're awesome. Your channel has a lot of potential, and we hope that you can take inspiration for your next. I think just thumbnail and title. I just assumed that the video will be of a very high quality, but it's a packaging, how you wrap that up is what's going to make it appealing. Also, you may want to just adjust your channel banner because I feel as if it will get cut off in on a mobile device as well. So maybe just check that as well. But that's our creator of the month, and we will be doing another one in a few weeks. So do make sure to sign up to Discord and find the appropriate room where Victoria will be more than happy to welcome you in with the next submissions. In the meantime, let's audit the next channel. And they go by the name of, quite simply, Build Some Stuff. And they are approaching 5,000 subscribers from just 7 videos. Wow. So is that 3 shorts, 4 long form videos? Their first video got 250,000 views, which is incredible. They haven't been able to sustain that virality, but they are still getting plenty of views. Dan, tell us more about Build Some Stuff.
This is one of those channels that has like a unique skill, and they've brought it to YouTube, and that's going to be their superpower. I was going to say, like, a channel like this, when you see the first video get so many views, it's just been a few short months too. That's incredible to see. It screams of a channel that's going to have a very bright future on YouTube. Look at the quality. This is probably not their first time making videos. This is incredible already. Can you imagine someone's first video being this good? Like, and look at this. I'm intrigued. Like, I can't look away.
I don't think there's been any audio or anything yet. It's just some music.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I like watching it move. This is cool. The thing is, how often can you make a video like this? You know, because it's not just the video you have to make, which is heavily edited and really nice. You have to make the thing. You have to make the thing that's in the video, and you know, probably using a 3D printer and all that stuff. I think that the reason we're seeing such a decline in views is because the first video was like something you probably worked really, really hard on, and it is a banger. It is doing so good. The next video is similar, how to make 3D printed RC boat. And this is awesome too. I like that. I like that works in land and water.
As you just saw, this boat works both on land and on water.
That's the first thing I noticed. So I think that these two videos were planned out in advance quite a bit. But as you get into like the later videos, it's becoming clear. This is just me imagining. I don't know this, but it's becoming clear to me that the creator has to work now on other projects to make more content. And so the latest one is like a 3D printer video. And that is like a different side of YouTube entirely. I think there are channels just like gaming channels that review games versus ones that play them. Like you could talk about 3D printers and it's relevant to what you're doing, but it's not what people found you doing originally. Originally, it was the finished product and using it. That is more of your superpower. So it's cool that you tried that. I think that there is a place for it, but you have to probably realize that people are probably more excited when you actually have something really unique that you've made and you've done a video on that versus like, here's this very, very technical piece of equipment. And it's just kind of the whole tone is different in a video like that.
What I would like to add is the creator had to answer this in their packaging as clearly as possible for every single video that they make. And that is, what's the coolest thing about what you've just built? Because Dan, you immediately noticed that this airboat thing can both go on land and water. And that's not necessarily sold in a thumbnail as much as it could do or in the titles. I think this video in particular is quite unwelcoming because it's like a very jargony name for a printer. It gets cut off in the title, so the title is too long, and it says so many features. But what's the best feature? What's the coolest one? What's going to make me, who doesn't really know anything about laser engraving printers, go, wow, that is cool. I might just buy one of them type of thing. Because I don't know if this is a review or you built it, or like, what does it, and all of these little bits of text in a thumbnail, again, I can't read them. Mm-hmm. So I lose quite a lot in the translation of a thumbnail and a title. So, world's smallest robot arm. All right, that is cool in itself, but what can it actually do? Does that mean it can pick up, does that mean it can find a needle in a haystack? Because it's so small and it can rummage around and find, I know that's a bit of a silly thing to say, but what's cool about the world's smallest robot arm other than it's tiny? And I feel as if that's what's going to give them their next viral moment on this channel.
No.
I'm going to watch the first 15 seconds of this just to find out.
Laser machine that I'll be giving an in-depth and unbiased review for in just a moment.
So that in itself is in-depth, unbiased review is counterintuitive to almost every video they've done beforehand where they've demonstrated something just really cool, which I can just immediately get on with. And you say perfect for beginners. I'm just going to let it play for 25 seconds.
This video will be easy to follow and provide you with all of the necessary information to make the right purchase. Stay with me because there's a lot of information coming up. So first...
Stay with me because there's a lot of information coming up. You've said it's for beginners.
Here's some basic info about the Falcon 2 22-watt laser engraving and cutting machine. Number one, the Falcon 2 is made by CLAAAAW, who is a well-respected...
And we've kind of gone into the how and the what it is. And at no point yet in the packaging, the title, thumbnail, intro, You've told me why I should get this. Because I still really don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Am I being too critical here? Or?
No, I think it's just such a departure from the other videos that were very, very successful. And like I said, there's probably a subset of your audience that's interested in more of the behind the scenes stuff. But
sure, definitely.
I would have done a behind the scenes video rather than a product review because, I mean, it's just it's an entirely different space in my mind. I feel like the robot arm has a broad appeal because anyone can understand what a robot arm is. But when you see that flat thing, like that flat metal thing, it doesn't really mean anything to you if you're not interested in 3D printing or whatever that specific machine does. So it's a lot to like, it's a big jump, you know, when we're talking about just niching down and trying to cater your content consistently to one audience.
I'm just looking at the comments here to try and get an idea of if the audience is quite technical and into the jargon and the complexities of a robot arm, or it's just like, wow, this is so impressive, really cool, love this. Like, that kind of makes me feel as if that comment, maybe I'm wrong here, but that kind of makes me feel that the content is accessible. It's like this person just said, that's a cool robot arm. I'm never going to build one myself. I just find this interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, build some stuff. Intriguing channel, has a lot of potential. I get Mark Rober vibes here to a certain extent. We look forward to your next, latest, greatest invention or build and how it's packaged for accessibility to an audience. Let's move on. We showed you how you can get your channel picked through Discord. We also have a thriving Facebook group, tens of thousands of community members now. And Victoria likes to jump in here and offer you competitions as well, which can get your channels picked. And this one was to describe a story through emojis. So you can see the emojis at the bottom with lots of astronauts and arrows pointing and getting a spacey vibe. Dan, can you read us out this story, please, from the emojis that we see below?
Yes, the lonely astronaut cascaded his way across the welcoming stars. There he saw a celestial being dancing within the shimmering rings, discovering more than just life, but a friendship. It is home where he'll cherish this forever.
And that is going to be the crawl for the next Star Wars film, I think. That's how it's going to be introduced. This channel, then, submitted through the Facebook group. We've got it linked in the description. Do make sure to join. And their channel is called JH Creations. What a cool looking channel banner that is. Gives me an immediate vibe of craft and creating. 711 subscribers. And they are creating some very intriguing, I don't know, what would you call these? Puppets, models. They've even done something on the skibidi toilet trend, Dan, that we've been investigating recently. Video to come on that. Initial first impressions here.
Yeah, I think these titles are nice and simple. I like that. And I think this is another creator that has a very unique skill set, and they've brought it to YouTube, which is always really good to see. So you're going to get something unique here that you're probably not going to get in a lot of other places around YouTube. The first thing that jumps out at me, I mean, you're covering a lot of trending topics and pop culture topics and things, which is great.
Yeah.
To me, it's the thumbnails are a bit, just like, I would say 20% overcomplicated.
Okay.
Because you've made a cool thing, and I get the hand with the paintbrush is trying to describe it like, no, like a person like handcrafted this.
Yeah.
I would love to see these without so much texture. Like, get rid of the hand for one of them, try to like tone down the text, make sure the background is really nice and clear, and just make the thing you made the star of it and go from there. Maybe the character with the paintbrush is really important, but it makes it look like a painting channel. But when you look carefully at the things that they're painting, it looks like more 3D than that. So I can't tell if they are just making really detailed paintings or if they just paint 3D sculptures, or what do they make the sculptures? There's like a lot of questions that I have about what this actually is. And because it's kind of confused me a little bit, it makes it harder to want to click on any individual video because I'm having to like think too much about what I'm going to see. And so it's kind of like these thumbnails feel like they're a little overcomplicated in a way. But I'm trying to be careful when I say that because they are also simple in a way too. It's just something's missing. I'm missing something with these.
It's an interesting observation, Dan, because it's sort of my most popular. And because I was kind of just fractionally disagreeing with you, but in the top 2 rows, there are 2 with the holding of a brush, but most of them are just really focused on the cool text and the object themselves, and they don't have that hand holding the brush in there. So I think that is probably something to do some split testing with, certainly, for the channel. And
what if we click on one? Like I'm
okay, let's do that. Which one would you like to click on?
Grimace. I went pretty good.
Which one is that? Oh,
in the middle, purple.
Okay, yeah. Let's get going.
What's up, YouTube? This week's video, we're jumping a little late on the Grimace.
Now, let's just check the video quality here. It was, all right, that's at 1080.
Concept art, I'm just going to replay you what I threw on TikTok.
So did I hear them say for the concept art?
Concept art, I'm just going to replay you what Grimace trend. And for the concept art,
yes.
I'm just going to replay you what I threw.
Okay, so an assumption was made in that intro. Before I really get to know what it is you've actually made, you say the words for the concept art. Here's what I made on TikTok. And that's fine that you made something on TikTok and you're bringing it in. But you're saying for the concept art, and I don't know what it's like. The concept art for what? Like, so
Hello,
we were a good several seconds into the video, and we still didn't know what it was that was being made. And that's where I would say, like, my advice to this creator is don't forget that people who find your videos may not have seen any of your other videos before, because your community probably understands that you make these 3D kind of things. But I'm still trying to figure that out. I looked at the title and thumbnail. I gave the video a chance, and I'm still like, the concept art, what do you mean? Like, what is going on? Like, it wasn't a proper introduction. I think the video is about the thing you made, and the click didn't exactly pay off at first. It felt like it was going to, and I liked the editing, and I liked the Grimace inclusion and stuff in there. I thought it was funny. It just, the new viewer, I feel like, is not being, spoon-fed that information soon enough.
Okay, I've clicked now. This is going to be the 4th video I'm clicking on, and so far in all of them, we haven't seen a reinforcement of the end product. It always starts with maybe something from a reference point, like whether it's a TV show or a series, etc., and then starting to build it. And only at the very end, typically, are we seeing the final product. And I feel again as if, like we spoke with the animation channel earlier, there needs to be some of this teasing going on earlier on in the video, just to re-engage the viewer in the first 30 seconds once they've clicked on a thumbnail. Because like, this is cool, but it's always at the very end of a video when probably audience retention is down at 30, 20%.
Here's my idea for them, and you can choose to use this or not, but I want you to try a thumbnail that's before and after. So I'm going to use the Grimace as an example, but it's whatever you're making next. I want the before to be a lump of clay on just a clean background. Maybe just get like the big white sheet background and just like make it well lit. Boom. Throw a lump of clay down and make that your before half. And then the after, make it the finished product and do a split screen thumbnail, because that thumbnail tells a story right there. No paintbrush or anything like that. Just a simple before and after. And then we get into the video, as Rob said, it's really important to show that finished product, or at least a good chunk of it. Maybe it's not painted yet or something, because people need that visual cue of exactly what you're doing in the video. So that's what was missing for me in all of those videos as well. I'm missing that like instant reaffirmation of the click. I clicked on the video. I still don't know what's going to happen in it. And I think if you did those two things, and you can do those in your own way, you can kind of take that advice, throw it out, but do your own version of it. I don't care. I would love to see you try something like that, because I think you will find a much, much better result. And you're already getting really good views. I think it's just a matter of like making it super dead, like simple for the audience to understand. This is not a painting channel. This is like you're making really complex sculptures. And I think what you're doing is super, super impressive.
Everything is tied into an IP, a brand, a popular character, a computer game. Awesome to see. Any of these super relevant today? Geometry Dash, not sure. Slenderman, Grimace. Skibidi Toilet, yes. That was the one I can see recently, which was tied into something that was happening culturally at that time. But maybe some more trend-jacking experimentation as well, possibly. Yeah. That is JH Creations. Now we've got a glut of super chats. So we're going to try and go on a speed round, I think, here, Dan, with some of these. So let's get to the questions. And the first one comes from the member giving away champion. You don't have to give any more away today, Old Man Gib. We just want to say thank you for the many times that you've given away free memberships. Old Man Gib here saying, thanks, y'all. A million. Dan, you are hydrating, right?
Old Man Gibbs trying to send me to the restroom early.
We've got a new member. Design Burst. I'm sure you were a member before. But anyway, welcome to being a member. Share those emojis that you've now newly acquired. We've got a question here from Gun Nut Opinion. I do kind of wonder if this might be a channel that we might not be able to audit if they did submit. But 2,500 subscribers in 2 months. Returning views at 13,200. New views at 168,000 in 28 days. Are you on the right track? Dan, I'll answer this one.
Yes.
100%. Those are phenomenal numbers.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
That's all I got. Yeah.
That's all we've got.
Great numbers.
Excellent job. Excellent job. We've got another new member, and they get this sound effect. Nope, that's the wrong person. Caliber Outdoors has become a new YouTube member. Make sure to share those emojis. We love you. And of course, the next one was a super sticky by Jackie Bai. Thank you for that. We now also have a question that's coming in from the Space Shark. How does YouTube calculate hours? My 3-month total shows I have enough to generate revenue, but the year calculation shows I don't. Love what you all do. So YouTube counts all of the public watch hours from your videos on demand and any live streams that are being watched as video on demand. I think. It doesn't count any advertising hours, any shorts hours, anything unlisted, private. Am I missing anything there, Dan?
I don't think so. But yeah.
So without seeing your analytics and your content, we don't know the full answer. The most reliable source of information is always the earn page. If you go there and scroll down, it will show you your current progress to your watch hours. So check that. That's always you can't argue with anything but that screen. That will tell you what YouTube thinks you are currently at with your watch hours. And sorry if we haven't got a complete answer for you there because we're not familiar with the channel's data. State of Survival. Do you guys think adding a video playlist to podcast category hurts the video's performance in them? I don't know about podcasts and playlists.
We haven't played with them too much, but YouTube doesn't. I know people would like to try and look at something that YouTube did and point to it and go, "Oh, that's why I'm not getting views. YouTube did something." But generally speaking, when YouTube does stuff like this, it's to help the video go somewhere it wasn't before. And in this case, it's like YouTube Music and stuff like that. So if anything, it should improve the performance, but just kind of for a different audience. But it's not, in my opinion, going to hurt something. And if it did, that would be a bug and YouTube would likely address it.
Calm Motive. Any good advice for a beginner white noise soundscape channel started 3 weeks ago and using keywords that relate to catchy thumbs? Hard to get notice. I'm going to struggle to give you advice other than get in touch with Doc Emmett Brown. Ask if you can borrow his DeLorean and go back 10 years to when this wasn't a oversaturated, highly competitive niche and start making content. I'm sorry if that's a flippant response. Dan, what can we say?
It's
tough.
I mean,
it's
how do you innovate?
Especially with AI now. AI has now like made it even more difficult.
How do you innovate in that niche, especially today? It might be a fun project. I don't think you're going to be quitting your day job doing that. Even in the case where the channel is more successful, it's so saturated and in a way that's hard to innovate. Something can be saturated. Like I just talked to a channel yesterday who, plays Minecraft, and they are successful despite the game being over a decade old, and they started relatively recently. Like you can play around in a saturated niche, but you have to innovate, and that's what they're doing, and that's what like a lot of channels do who are successful. But we're just talking about soundscapes. I mean, I don't know.
We had a channel, we interviewed a faceless channel creator yesterday, maybe worth watching this video, and their research went along the lines of this. So they're searching for a keyword, and in your case, it's going to be white noise soundscape. So do that search, then set the filter to only the last week, and then look through which channels with low subscriber counts are getting big views. And that might be a new opportunity within that space, and try and capitalize on it if you can. So yeah, recommend watching yesterday's video for a bit more advice on the research side of this, but we wish you the best of luck. Varney's Troop. Hi, I'm a new channel and have been hit with a restriction because I have my son in the videos, and I didn't set it to kids, only when it's for families. And now what I can do still to grow. Thanks. Oh, so they didn't correctly state that the content was made for kids. I mean, there's nothing, your content isn't automatically made for kids if there is a kid in it, but typically when there's a child in a video and they're maybe the focus of a video, then it is aimed towards kids.
Right.
I'm not sure here other than a nuclear option, which would be to start a new channel and make sure you state that your content is made for kids. Again, we don't know the full details of a channel.
We don't know exactly what YouTube's put on your channel, if it's just impacting that video or the whole channel. Like I don't quite understand. Maybe you do, Rob, but I don't know what like restriction they're referring to. Yeah. If it's just on that video, you could try to properly categorize it. You could take it off your channel. You could there's some options there. But if YouTube's telling you no, your whole channel is now impacted by this, and I don't know how they would say that, where they would say that, then yeah, that's going to kind of change the narrative a bit. Sorry, I'm just doing a bit of super chat maintenance there. Right, there we go. Journal mode. What types of posts can help a community for my YouTube channel? I'm trying to engage with viewers, get comments, and bring in subscribers. I assume they mean in the community tab. Oh no, they're not necessarily. Just create a community. It's hard. Well, it depends on what you're doing. Like a community is just a bunch of people who like the same thing and they come together, right? So this is one of the reasons we tell people to cater to one audience, because that's the easiest way to have a community, right? Like you're constantly making something for that audience over and over again. Maybe you start a Discord, maybe like you said posts, so maybe it's community tab. So you put out similar posts day in and day out that would cater to the same audience, questions that they would be excited to answer. It happens naturally, and it's because you've kind of built this channel around a theme that everyone can get behind. Why are the super chats count not going down? We started with 19 and we've still got 19. I don't know how I've done this. Oh well. Right, Earth to the other side. This is the last one for now, and then we'll do a super speed round later on. If I want to change the name of my channel, but I'm already monetized, would this be a possibility, or could it damage my channel? Awesome work, guys. I don't think there are any implications on changing the channel name. YouTube will give you some instructions when you're changing your name as to what impact that will have, but it shouldn't demonetize the channel. It may mean that some people can't find you for a few weeks because you've changed your name. So if they're searching for it, probably unlikely to happen. But I can't think of any big downsides, Dan, unless you can. No, the sooner you do it, the better, because you're talking about like it's the only person who might be confused is an audience member. YouTube themselves will see what you're doing. It's the people in your audience who might go, oh, what happened to Earth to the other side? Oh, okay, the name's a little different now. And it won't take them too long, I think, to make that connection. But the longer you wait, the more you become known as that name you currently have. So sooner the better, regardless of where you're at, in my opinion.
All right, then. Time for this. The following 40 minutes or so are going to work like this. We've got 471 submissions in the non-gaming form. We have 365 submissions in the gaming form. We're going to pick from this form list for now using the CLAAAAW. The CLAAAAW will just go in, pick out a number, and then we will take that number, put it in a form, get the URL if you've provided the correct URL, and then we will audit the channel. First impressions. We've never come across these channels before. We don't know what we're getting ourselves into. Could be scary, could be fun, could be entertaining. Nutshell Info. Subscribe to Nutshell Info, says Isaac Newton. Did he say that? Did he really say that? I challenge you. Dan, what's your first thought when you look at this channel?
There are TV characters and YouTubers, and there's a lot going on, and I don't know what these shorts are going to be about. I don't know. I
sense AI. I don't know why. I just sense AI. We're going to have to find that out by clicking on one of these shorts. What I will say is with 284 subscribers, promising view counts from the shorts. And they haven't had any breakout ones yet, but let's just click on one of these and find out some more. We'll do this.
Here's some impossible things humans can't do.
Audio is so low here.
Number 1. You can't sneeze with your eyes.
I know why it's doing this. It's because, hang on. Let me fix this.
Let me take you back.
All right, that's fixed there. Could you hear that at all?
I could. It's just really quiet.
All right. Let's try this one. It's not very loud. Oh, this is music from somewhere else, so I better not get a...
oh boy, yeah, you might want to...
Copyright. Okay. So we're doing the morphing of the character then versus now. So...
there's a couple things. I would say from a production standpoint, the content moves a little too slow in the cases that we saw. Like, it just takes way too long for a shorts audience to like get like what the short's about. It gets there eventually. It's just too slow. And then in terms of like the effort you're putting into this content, I do also suspect AI. This feels like it could be automated in some parts of the process. There's a lot of competition out there because, I mean, a lot of people can automate their content with AI now. So, but they are telling stories. They are taking creators and just trying to like use them to tell a story, or actors or whoever it might be. So I don't necessarily think that they're doing anything wrong. I just think that people might get that sense of like, oh, this feels like AI generated. And that alone could be a reason people scroll away without really giving the content a chance as well. So that's just a caution. That's not, I haven't watched enough videos, or I can't hear it very well. So I might not be nailing this one, but that's kind of what I feel.
It was AI voice. I think it's a really,
like a decent one.
Yeah, a decent one with a certain voice, but I can't really mimic it, unfortunately. And this is very much going to be a theme over the next couple of years. Kind of this. Is it harsh to say it's throwaway content in that I will watch this, I may find something interesting from it in 20 seconds that the short is, but I'm not going to seek out this channel's content for more. It's just if YouTube puts in front of me, sure, cool, I'll watch it and then I'll move on. But I'm not going to remember Nutshell Info in a 24 hours time because it will feel like another one of these AI channels. And we had one of these super chat questions about how to build a community. It feels like this is almost like anti-community and just content driven for the goal of maybe reaching monetization in the future.
When it comes to shorts and TikTok, for me personally, I fall in love with people and characters. The McFarlanes, Little Puff, like just names that like I remember. And like when I see a video from that channel, I can just sense, wow, they probably do this all the time. I click into the channel and sure enough, it's always those characters getting into shenanigans. And I mean, I follow channels like that, but for kind of facts channels like this, it's just I'm not really like getting attached to any one thing, and that makes it harder to stand out.
But for what the channel was doing, I think looking at the view counts, they were fairly strong. They are building on that content, so you're doing all of the right things in that sense. Samisanerd. So I don't know where I don't know where the syllables are in this. Samisanerd.
Samisanerd.
Samisanerd. Thank you. There we go. Dan's nailed it. Is Sam a nerd though? Let's ask that question. A gaming channel, and several games being covered here. They haven't been on YouTube for very long, or at least in this latest incarnation of the channel. Bit of Beat Saber stuff, power washing simulator. There is a power washing simulator now. Okay, cool. And then we're going on a health journey as well.
So you made your short 1 minute too long on that one.
Yeah. Damn, that must be frustrating.
Yeah. Dang it. So when I look at these shorts, now I'm seeing a face that appears all the time. And if I started watching your shorts and you popped up on my shorts feed, I would recognize you immediately, and I could start to become interested in your journey and things you're doing. So anyway, I just pointing out the difference there. So I want to encourage this creator to keep playing around with different themes, different games, different, because it looks like VR might be a theme, but you also done some PlayStation stuff, some Xbox stuff. You may have seen some of our content on the subject of talking about like catering to one audience, and you probably heard us talk about it today. But there's a point on YouTube, especially when you're a younger creator, where you have to like experiment and you need to like try a bunch of stuff. And to me, when I look at this channel just as a whole, that's what it looks like you're doing. And I want to encourage that. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I agree.
You are coming to us. How do I grow? Well, you grow by finding what you love to do and your favorite thing, and then like your favorite thing to present to an audience, right? So it's not just the thing you love the most. It's like, this is the thing I love the most. How can I bring it to an audience and in an enjoyable way? There will be work behind that. Obviously, there's going to be parts of that you don't love, but it's important to love what you do on YouTube. I think your current strategy, you're not going to just blow up overnight. But if you keep trying things and you keep opening yourself up to learning and trying to improve over time, you're going to be like, wow, my favorite thing to make was that Beat Saber video. What other VR games are out there? Rhythm games? Like what else could I do in that kind of category? Can I like really hone in that space for a while? But don't force yourself to do that. Like experiment, keep trying things until you really, something like in you is like, no, this is like, that was my favorite thing to do. I got to figure out how to like reach like an audience now with that type of content.
Spend this time falling in love with the creative process. And if there was one thing you may want to just think about when you make your next video, is from all of the other YouTube creators you're watching on YouTube, you might see some really cool thing they do with the editing, or like a graphical touch, or like a sound effect. And you say, that's really cool. In the next video, I would want to experiment with that one thing and just drop it into the video. And keep doing that with every single piece of content that you make. At the end of this year, let's reassess. Say, okay, I've made 100 videos now. As Dan said, this was really cool. I enjoy making this. Let's go into that a little bit more. Or this, my audience reacted well to this video. Let's find out a little bit more about this audience with some similar content. But Sam is a nerd. You just keep being a YouTube nerd right now and creating content and having fun doing it. What numbers are we up to? We're up to nearly 500 here. Nearly 400 there. Let's adjust the number accordingly here so that we potentially pick out any and all channels. This channel is the number 199. We have another fitness channel, or the first fitness channel that we're auditing today, but we've already had a question in the super chats from a fitness channel. So AM challenge. Okay, they're using I think there's one thing that we want to try and encourage this creator to get right. Beyond anything else right now is this versus style thumbnail. Because I can see the versus, but then beyond that, it's complete chaos in most of these. The colors from the left and right clash really badly. There's not dominant colors here. It tends to be, it looks like you're reusing images as well in these thumbnails. And maybe also you've been trying to do the same style of thumbnail and video idea for a very long time now, and it doesn't seem to be creating momentum results. So I don't know if you can just have this gym challenge that goes on for 100 days plus and have it have a real impact. And I have no idea what these numbers mean at the bottom either. Is it weight comparisons? I don't know. These take... I'm still trying to decode these thumbnails, Dan, and we've been looking at them now for 45 seconds.
Yeah. I think this is... I mean, I love a good versus thumbnail. I think we need to go back to the drawing board on this. They're obviously trying to communicate something. It's really, really difficult. Reading the title and looking at the thumbnail, I am left with very, very little information. I know there's fitness going on, and then also lawn care. So we need to go back to the drawing board on these thumbnails. It's definitely like I would be looking at fitness channels and seeing what they're doing, because in both cases, the picture of the gym person and the picture of the people, like the natural body side of it, like they're blown out. There's like no clear focus in any of them. The people are like way too tiny. It's a lot. I think thumbnails and titles. If I was this creator, obviously you're doing a challenge and you're very committed to it, and that's perfect. That's step one. Maybe that's why you're, is such an encouraging creator to me, because if you have something you're really passionate about, a lot of people, I mean, I've seen it in chat today. People are like, I can't really find my niche. I'm not sure what to do. You found it. You've answered a big question on YouTube. Now it's time to get the YouTube part of it down, the YouTubey part. And that's learning how to communicate that to someone who's never seen your videos before with better titles and thumbnails.
I have this mantra about thumbnails, which is make your thumbnails half as complicated as they are right now. In this case, they need to be 25% as complicated or a 10% as complicated as they are right now. There is just too much going on. And that's, in the packaging, the biggest downfall of the channel currently. So that's what I want you to work on. Sujoy's Gaming TV. And then this is another one immediately when I look at the thumbnails and think, ooh, there's quite a lot of text there. And the thumbnails themselves are in black and white. So my eyes are just being focused on the text. And that then makes them look a bit like PowerPoint presentation images.
I didn't know it was a gaming channel until like I realized what part of the process we were in. Like, we're picking a gaming channel next. It took me, like, if I saw these, I would assume they were historical documentaries about battles that happened. I would not assume gaming thumbnail at all. So it looks like just at a quick glance, you are playing through Call of Duty, maybe the story, and
which one? United Offensive. Okay, is that new? Is that old? I don't know.
I have no idea. It might be older. It looks kind of like it be older. We need to go back to the drawing board and thumbnails for sure, and we need to ask ourselves the question: who is this content for? Because if it is an older Call of Duty game, how, like, is anyone thinking about this game right now? Do they want to see content on it? It does certainly look like an older game. Are you playing it a certain way? Like, are you doing a certain challenge? Maybe you're trying to challenge yourself to play through all the old Call of Duty games. That could be a series. But just playing an old Call of Duty game, and sounds like not doing commentary either. I don't know what we're getting. I think this might
be like one of the very first Call of Duties, like back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And what I will say, Dan, is for what looks to be a Let's Play channel,
the
views are encouraging. Like, usually we would see channels like this who are 1 or 2 years into their Let's Play journey, and they're still struggling to get above 10 views. This one is already getting dozens of views. That's encouraging from that point of view.
Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily say to end this series. There might be some interest there, which is great. It's just, you need to frame this a certain way. Like, what am I going to get from watching you that I can't get anywhere else?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to go through the channels a bit quicker right now, just so we can get quite a few in, because we do have lots of super chats. So maybe we're like picking out the biggest area for exploration and improvement in each of these channels. Joshua's Journey. They have 382 subscribers, inspiring you to pack your bags with travel experiences and guides. Okay, cool value proposition. I think the thumbnails are of a decent standard. They have the creator on the right-hand side in a certain poses and looks. Like you can take advantage of the Day of the Dead look that they've got there in one of the thumbnails, and then a point of interest on the right-hand side. Text, I think, is a bit too busy in these ones, exploring the vibrant traditions of the Day of the Dead. I don't know if you need to include that in the thumbnail. Could be reserved for the title a little bit here. They have this outlier here, which has 3,700 reviews, but as a channel, travel channel, are they posting enough content as well? They've not posted anything for a couple of months. If I had a look at the shorts, when was the last time they posted a shorts? Let's see. 1st of July. So we're on I think a 2-month hiatus here, Dan. Maybe they want to get back into it for the fall season. Any big things jumping out here other than what
the one you noticed, the outlier, Mexico City, like that one asks a very interesting question.
Okay.
Is Mexico City safe? Mexico City travel vlog, hidden gems, et cetera, et cetera. So the title, a bit wordy to me, but the thumbnail asks that interesting question. And it makes me wonder, when you go to these places, can you ask more interesting questions in your titles or thumbnails? Can you give more of your opinions? Like the Day of the Dead one, it looks like you went there and had a good time. Could the thumbnail have been like, this was the best festival I've ever been to? And then the text just says Day of the Dead or something like that. What if you simplify these down and people get into the video and they realize, oh, they traveled there and they're a travel channel, and that stuff will become clear pretty quick. But it's like, how do we make a larger audience find this content? And I think that, I would look to thumbnails like the Mexico City one, look to those types of themes and go, okay, what can I do to to change this narrative a bit? This is interesting. Are you brave enough to try eating roaches and bugs? That's a perfect. I love that title.
But missed opportunity in a thumbnail where are said roaches.
Oh.
Or disaster. Are we still there?
I think so. Did you cut out or did I cut out?
Yeah, so I tried to use my magnifying glass extension and my computer just froze for a few seconds. So that's probably was my fault. But I'm back, and I think everybody got the gist of what we were saying.
About the thumbnail. You wanted roaches in the thumbnail.
So we've got what looks to be a Jeep and some more of these people with Day of the Dead masks on, rather than you about to try or cringing as you taste one of these.
What if it
roaches?
Was them and they were holding a blurred brown thing and they had their mouth open? That could have been a very interesting thumbnail, implying that you tried it or thought about trying it. So really think about the connection between the titles and the thumbnails that you're making for your videos.
All right. Gaming channel up next. And they go by the name of Alden Falor Gaming. And just check, are they a shorts channel or a long form content? Right. So what game is this? Elden Ring? More Elden Ring? Elden Ring. All Elden Ring. Okay, cool. A lot of people have been playing this game for a couple of years now. I'm not seeing intrigue in the titles.
Yeah.
A little bit of intrigue in the thumbnails.
Yeah. It looks like you were just playing Elden Ring when I look at these titles and thumbnails. And even if you're not, that's the problem with that is, again, low barrier to entry. Anyone can just buy Elden Ring, just play it and record it. So I'm going to encourage channels like this to try to do it differently. Try to do a challenge. There's a lot of people who have Elden Ring challenge videos out there you can get inspired by. Do one that's popular that someone else has done even. Don't be afraid to jump on one that someone else has done, because that's how trends are born. People see something and they're like, I want to try that, and do your version of it. But in my opinion, it's not going to cut it anymore if you're just going to record you playing a game. It has to have purpose behind it. And even if it does, I'm not seeing that in the titles and thumbnails of this particular channel.
All right, then. I think you've summed it up nicely, Dan. What I will say is credit to this creator. They've been on YouTube for about 2 months now. It looks like they are slowly developing not only their titles, which were very basic to begin with, almost like file names, but they're also developing a thumbnail strategy as well. So credit for you to being a progressive creator learning on the job, so to speak. But now we are victims of our own success, and we do need to get through many super chats. So I'm going to start the music down, and we're going to do quick fire, whereby either I address the super chat or you. So we don't have a discussion unless it's something super interesting. So here we go with the first one. Frosty Lone Wolf, awesome content at 50 subs, and on my way to 1,000.
Congrats.
Game Life 44. What are the signs of a failing channel?
That's a big question. Well, I don't know. Any channel could look like it's failing, and then you could turn around one day and have like this stroke of genius and start creating something new and fresh for your channel. So, you know, were your views here and now they're here and you're not having fun, and part of it's on you too. Like, are you having fun anymore? That's it. I don't know.
We'll leave it there. I see originals. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Just wish I had some feedback. The feedback is, if you're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, you're on the road to success and building an audience. You're doing the right things. Keep on doing it. Keep creating content that those near 1,000 subscribers and your returning viewers want to watch. I feel as if I'm getting the easy ones here, Dan. Yours up is can't get any subs. Hoping for more help.
Well, best of luck. We've been auditing channels all day, so hopefully you've learned something from the channels we looked at.
If you want more subscribers, make more videos. That's our short answer to general questions.
I'm doing pressure.
One thing books with a super chat. Hey, thank you.
This is crap. Why are you getting ones that have like nothing in them? And then I get this like crazy question. I have to think really fast.
You can see the same list as me, Dan. I'm going through it in chronological order. Good morning. I would love to grow in subs and looking for your advice. Your channel helped me monetize in 28 days. That's awesome. I think if you monetize in 28 days, you're on the right track. That's incredible to be able to do that.
Yes. Congratulations. Keep learning.
Dan agrees.
Yeah.
All right. You've just done some management there, haven't you? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good. Her Square. Why not review those of us who have less than 1,000 subscribers? I think we've just gone through plenty. Go on, Dan.
Yes, my answer for this is, let me ask you this question. Why do channels that have over 1,000 subscribers not seem helpful? Because we want to look at channels that are at varying levels of their journey so that everyone can learn from all sorts of people who've seen some success, who haven't quite seen that success yet. And we think that's a very well-rounded way to do these channel reviews.
Nice answer. Explore Unseen USA. Nobody loves me. No one reviewed my channel. I'm waiting since January 2023. I'm sorry to hear that you don't believe anybody loves you. Can everybody in the chat send some vidIQ creator love to Explore Unseen USA? I'm sorry that you haven't been audited. As you have probably discovered, it's as random as we can to give everybody a chance. And hopefully your channel will be audited in the future. But the most important thing we try to stress is that it really doesn't matter which channel we are auditing, because the fundamentals we talk about every single week apply to all channels. And I worry that if you're waiting for the exact advice you need on your channel, even if we gave it to you, you wouldn't implement it because you haven't. If you've been watching since January 2023, you should have already had the opportunity to implement all sorts of new strategies and advice going forward. But please, everybody, give Explore Unseen USA all the love in the chat. Dan, Donnie's Adventure, any suggestions to a treasure hunting channel?
Yes. Try to make those videos on the surface look as accessible as possible. I don't know why that word took me so long. So treasure hunt for things that anyone could understand, like just simple, like money or something like that. Like I buried a briefcase, I'm looking for a briefcase full of money. It's like simplicity and items and things that anyone would recognize. If that makes sense. That sounded better in my head, and then I just vomited it out.
How to tell stories, I think, for treasure hunting. It's all about the story with something like that. Sizzling popcorn. Flight Sim. Best perk for members. Should I have more than one tier? Could do an econo, business, and first class membership. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I like that idea. Try to make sure your memberships are not like costing you a lot of your time. So we have emotes. We're not doing a whole lot with our memberships other than that right now because we only have so much time in our day. make sure that your memberships are scalable in that way, that the more people join, it doesn't cost you any more of your time. You could do a Discord, like YouTube has a ton of suggestions there, but yeah, perks could be challenging.
I think for like the first class tier, which is $999 or whatever the max is, you can offer that member a flight to anywhere they want in the world, and like they build the avatar and put them in first class, and then like they keep going back to that person in first class, and like either being served, being looked after, and so on. I don't know if you can even do that in Flight Simulator.
That's funny.
Sounds cool. Next one here is, have I just done that one? I have. Oh, we got some new members. Right, okay, so Mask on Secret has just become a new member. And then we also have a new member who goes by the name of Useless Builds. That sounds intriguing to the channel name. Building useless stuff sounds interesting. I hope that's what you're doing. Next super chat. Mental Health Mondays. What strategies do you recommend when sharing YouTube videos on other platforms, Facebook, TikTok, etc.? We failed at trying to do this many times.
It's important to try to make sure that the thing you're making feels like it's for the people who are watching it. So sometimes we've found success in actually reshooting a video for a specific platform. We have the script already. We have all the things. We just have to like shoot it again with TikTok in mind, with Facebook in mind, because different audiences have just different viewing habits. And so you kind of study those a little bit, and that could be one route you go for repurposing content.
I see Originals. I've got 588 subs in 8 months. My most viewed videos, 38,000 views. Is this good or just around normal? I'd say you're on the classic YouTube trajectory right now, in that you are grinding to that 1,000 subscribers. Typically takes a year or so, and you've had 1 or 2 viral moments. And so you're starting to figure out YouTube, but you're not quite there yet. Continue learning with us and other YouTube educators. But yeah, I think things are going very nicely for you. I see Originals. Nothing to worry about on that journey. Animal Sensei. I think YouTube, here we go. Conspiracy, I'm sensing, hang on, let me just find the right one. I'm sensing conspiracy theory super chat here. I think YouTube stopped pushing my long videos and push my shorts instead. I want the opposite. So should I stop making them and delete the current content?
Well, no, I mean, are you making shorts that are for a totally different audience than your long form content? Because that's not a helpful thing. But at the end of the day, maybe you've just had a bad run with your long form content. Maybe you've tried some titles and some thumbnails and some video topics that just didn't hit like some of the other ones. So, but please, like, don't link these two things in the sense that like one is hurting the other. Yeah. I know people have those conspiracies. I don't buy into those myself.
We are working through the super chats. We are working through them. RoboZ with the £1 super chat there. Thank you. Mask on Secret. Can you say my name and shout out? We've just done that. Mask on Secret. And then next one comes from, that's a shout out. Is that your version of a shout out, Dan?
And shout out, yeah.
Yeah. The Golden Mindset. I have been filling the vidIQ form sharp 3 hours before the stream for 15 weeks in hope of getting a review and for my not-for-profit channel. Should I change my approach in the hope of getting selected? So if you're trying to be the first person on the form, as soon as you see the notification, then fill out the form. To give you a little bit of insight, we make the live stream public around about 6 to 7 hours before it goes live. So if you're on YouTube at that time, have a go. Can't say any more than that. ITC. About 7 years ago, when I was dumb. All right. But you're not dumb anymore. I cheated and got 100 free subscribers. Obviously fake. Now I'm at 300 plus subscribers. Would that hurt my channel at all? It's been a long time. 7 years.
I wouldn't say that's a big, heavy impact.
Yeah. And, you know, subscriber counts are irrelevant. How many views are you getting? That's far more important.
Yeah. If I was on YouTube for that long, I'd be looking at some different topics and trying to, like, you know, figure out why haven't I gotten this, you know, the subscribers and the success that I want.
Tom's DIY shop with a $10. Presumed that was a sticky, but thank you. Slippy Boy with the slightly different channel name. I'm always curious how people do that. They somehow use a different font in their channel name. If you're a video essay channel, does your title and thumbnail need to be the thesis to present through your whole script and video?
No.
No, I wouldn't say so.
What's it about? That's all I need to know for a video essay channel. And we looked at one earlier, and I thought what I thought was a video essay channel. Like, what kind of story are you going to tell? Like, what are you diving deep on? Dead simple title thumbnail does not need to be like this overcomplicated thing. Like, look into other video essay channels that you enjoy and see what they're doing.
Yeah, the most important thing on a title and a thumbnail is to create that curiosity, to make someone go, huh, that's interesting. I want to know more. I'm going to click on this video. And so it doesn't have to try and encapsulate the entire video. I think sometimes people overcomplicate their thumbnails and titles trying to address the entire video. Next question. Any advice for anime channels? Love the stream. We just audited a channel, I think in the first hour of this live stream, that looked at an animation channel, or at least somebody who uses Blender to animate things. And that was a really interesting approach to how to animate.
as in like the
oh,
specific.
That's my fault. Sorry, Dan. Tackle this one.
Well, you can still do it. I don't have any great advice.
I don't know now. My mind's gone blank.
I would say pick a show or a property that, and maybe pick a few that you really enjoy. Again, always thinking about that one audience. Be careful because the culture of around that content is different than other parts of YouTube, and people can meet a lot of like challenging copyright issues with anime kind of content. Look again to other channels and successful in your space to try and learn from them. They've blazed the path for you. It's okay to kind of look and see what they're doing and model some of what you're doing off of their success.
Dan, you get this sound effect for bailing me out, and I get this sound effect. Okay, let's go on to the next super chat. Harley MCD. I have 90 subs and sometimes 1,000 views. How to improve? Make more videos. Such a broad question. Don't know how to answer it.
If it makes you feel better, we just hit 1.6 million subs.
I don't think that really helps, Dan.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I guess what we would encourage you to do when you ask a question is trying to make it specific about a particular thing that you're struggling with or would like some assistance with. The questions when you say how to improve, it's so broad. How to get more subscribers, it's so broad. How to get more views, it's so broad. Our general answer there is you haven't educated yourself enough, whether it's from us or anyone else, about more of the intricacies of being a content creator. And so we just say make more videos because you're going to gain the experience, and nothing beats experience, especially when you start on YouTube.
Yeah.
Denos, I run a Minecraft channel, 10 million plus monthly views. Wow. With shorts and 100,000 subscribers. I have problems getting my viewers onto my long videos. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Dan just says,
yes.
So my advice would be, first of all, if you're making 6, 7, 8 minute long Minecraft videos, there's still a bit of a jump there for the viewer to go from one type of content to viewer. So try experimenting with 1 minute 30, 2 minute long form videos, so on and so forth. And also, there may be the perfect tool coming for you in about 3 weeks from YouTube, whereby you can make shorts and add a link in that short to long form content. That could be your answer. So stick around for that. Kit Gaming. Love this channel. Been watching since 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you.
Love you back, Kit Gaming. And last, but certainly not least, Food Exposure feels their thumbnails are bad. I do point of view food eating videos.
Best thing that you can do, find your favorite creator who's kind of big in the space. Go grab some of their thumbnails and try to recreate them. Maybe with your face instead of theirs, whatever. Even as just practice, you don't have to use them. Try to recreate them. What you're going to find is that you're going to run into challenges. You're like, wait, how did they do that? Yeah. And then I want you to be on YouTube looking up tutorials for Photoshop, whatever editing software you're doing, to try and get that effect. And before you know it, you are going to kind of like master your thumbnail editing software, and you're going to be seeing themes popping up in the different thumbnails you're looking at that you're going to be like, like I like it better when the food is more saturated or whatever it might be. That is how I improved. And a lot of people have improved that way when it comes to thumbnails.
Whew, Dan, we've managed to get through all of the super chats, apart from another $10 super chat from Tom's DIY.
Thank you, Tom.
We can relax now, right?
That's it. We can just finally get back to some audits, and nothing could possibly go wrong.
What a smooth aftertaste that is. Absolutely trash.
Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back. You know, I'm really excited today because I feel like my financial freedom is finally secured. Everyone come on back on. I really just wanted to come and celebrate with y'all. I'm super excited.
Hey,
Rob
Savage.
Wilson, Dan, whatever your name is, let me ask you a question. What is the most popular thing that people do every single day? What is the most popular thing? What do people love to do every single day?
Sleep. Everybody loves to sleep.
That is true, but what is the second most popular and amazing thing people love to do every single day?
Video
Eat.
games.
Eat. Yes, eat. That's correct.
Thank you.
And when you eat something, what is the most popular meal of the day? What do everyone love and look forward to?
Oh,
Every
Popcorn.
day. Which meal of the day? Let me help y'all, because apparently y'all did not read. It is breakfast. And I found that
right. Okay.
the profit margins on breakfast are kind of ridiculous. So I decided to dip my savage toe and make some money. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to bring to you for the first time ever, Savageos. They are part of a complete breakfast. Now, here's the thing. Some of those other companies want to rip you off and not give you what you paid for, but we're here to help raise your cholesterol, because you know they try to not give you a lot of cholesterol. I'm trying to give you all the cholesterol you could ever want. We got extra gluten for that delicious taste, and also we've managed by working very hard to get 33% less metal shavings, and we're super excited to be under the legal limit now. Now we're not quite there on rat droppings. We're just within 5%. We're going to get there if we work hard enough. But you too can get your Savageos really quickly. I'm going to taste test Savageos for the very first time on the stream. But here's the thing. You know what they say? They say no good product doesn't have side effects. Unfortunately, my lawyer has told me that I've got to tell everyone the side effects. So just kind of ignore this next part. But these are the side effects. Legally, I got to tell you about this. Here we go.
Side effects of Savageos are uncommon, but may include headache, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, dysentery, cardiac arrest, cardiac arrhythmia, mild heart explosions, varicose veins, hemorrhoids, diabetes, mild discomfort, mild blood loss, severe hair loss, bone weakness, loss of employment, dyslexia, confusion, blindness, unexpected bowel movements, anger, depression, shortness of breath, trouble sleeping, constipation, lockjaw, leprosy, and the occasional death.
But look, I just want y'all to know that doesn't typically happen. It only happened a couple times. I'm gonna go ahead and try some of these Savageos right quick. And y'all gonna want to get to your local dispensary to get some of these. So I can only go through dispensaries at the moment.
Hover those fingers over the clip button right now.
Look, I got a bonus chicken bone. We won't charge you for that. Oh my God. Oh. Well, listen, we're gonna get back to the taste test on that another time. But it's coming to your local grocery store really soon. I hope all of y'all ready to purchase as many Savageos as you possibly can. We appreciate your patronage. I think I need water and maybe some alcohol, but they're delicious.
I wouldn't. Okay. You don't have to keep eating them now. You're
Thank God. I'm
not obligated.
Oh, we're not live anymore, right?
No, we went off the air.
No, they're delicious.
Hours ago.
Oh, they're really good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't stop eating them.
How are those metal shavings working out for you?
Well, look, here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. As long as we're not live, I can tell you this on the side. I don't let people know.
Okay.
This thing gave me bronchitis too. It's kind of bad. We're still trying to figure out how that happened, because that's not something you should be able to ingest. But don't let anyone know that. All right, just between the three of us. I don't want no one else knew that. Anyway, did everything go well? Was it good? Do you think they bought it?
Well, the comments here, like, people are sold on this.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
That's great.
Sir Savage.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh.
Cool.
Slavgar's not convinced.
Wait a minute. Are we still on live? Wait, you tricked me. You're trying to cancel me.
No, we would never do that.
I'm
That's
so
silly.
I have one more question, Savage. How much do they cost?
We haven't landed on a number yet because, to be perfectly honest, we're trying to save up enough money for the potential lawsuits we know are going to happen at the beginning of selling these things. We're hoping that we can hit it at a very reasonable $65, but we're not real sure. That's
$65
for the small box. The big boxes are going to be much more expensive, but we give value for money. We give lots of value. Twice the calories of any other cereal. See, they try to hold back on calories when you pay like $3, $4. I say give them all the calories. Give them every single bit of calories they could ever want for twice the money. It's all good. I'm so excited. Can't wait to be rich.
So just a few comments coming through here. Alvar Creation says 130 people just left the live stream. Yeah. The No Dig Gardener wants a case. And maybe if you could answer this, Savage, what is the point in all of this?
To make money. What's the point of anything? Like, what kind of people do you have watching your live stream, Rob? I really don't understand this. I thought it was people that want to make money and be famous. I'm trying to show them the blueprint, the literal blueprint. Terrible.
See you next week.
Let's go.